Hey everybody, this is Christine Sienna Calabrese from What About the Dog. This is not going to be a funny video. I don't even want to really do this video, but it has to be done. There was a story that popped up in my timeline, and it reminded me that this is a really good, necessary PSA to do. I'm going to relay the story, and I'm gonna really strive to keep my composure the best I can. You might recognize the name, but you'll definitely recognize this kid's face. Okay, so I'm warning you, this is touchy. Jason Brown, if that name rings a bell. Okay, I'm gonna show you his face, and then you'll remember this story. Okay. You remember this guy? Okay, so if you don't know the story, back in 2014, this kid was in Reno, Nevada. Okay. He was in Nevada. He's a meth head. He's 25 years old, longtime meth head. And he was staying at a Super 8 motel. And he was holed up in there for about a week. And he wouldn't let housekeeping in for some reason. But when he finally stepped out for whatever reason, housekeeping went in there and they found 7 dead dogs in different dismembered states in the room. There was blood everywhere, and there were dog heads in the freezer, in the fridge, in the motel room. So he claims that he didn't remember any of that. May or may not be true. He's got a long time history of problems with meth. Doesn't excuse it at all, because he also has a history of being a weird kid. He's got problems, very clearly, and he was just recently sentenced to 28 years in prison for animal torture, because not only did this individual do this to those dogs, he videotaped it. And that's what sealed his fate with the judge. So the reason I'm making the video is to tell you that that kid, the way he was able to get all those dogs to do those things to via duffel bag into that, and believe me, they were alive. They were alive when he did what he did. The way he was able to get those dogs was he got them off of Craigslist, free to good home. People have got to stop giving their dogs away to strangers. Enough with the Craigslist, enough with the social media. There are groups on Facebook, free to good home groups. Facebook can't keep up with them. They're just trying to shut them down left and right. We're supposed to support them because it goes against the community standards because of devils like this. This is what happens when you give your dog away to a stranger. Not every time. I'll go with you on that. But more times than not, weird shit happens when you give your animals away to strangers. Listen, we have way too many reputable rescues that you can relinquish your animal to if you absolutely need to. There's no excuse. There's no excuse to be that lazy. Give your animal to a reputable rescue. A word of caution against acquaintances too. If you don't know the person personally, firsthand, you need to go. You need to go investigate with your own eyes. You need to go see. I know a gazillion people in animal rescue, but I don't know them personally. So if someone came to me and said, hey, Christine, what do you think about, so-and-so? Hey, I know so-and-so. She's really cool. We've worked on a couple things together, but I've never met her in person. I've never been to her house. I don't know how she is with animals. I don't know the condition of her animals. You go check it out. And your biggest tool will be, how do you feel? What is your instinct? What does your instinct say about that person? Okay? Also, please do that with the rescues. We've had some problems with some rescues as well for coming up and doing some weird shit. So just because you're a rescue doesn't necessarily mean you've been offered sainthood or anything. So you need to do your due diligence, please. The other word of caution, please, 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 do not fall for someone just because she is a female. I'm going to tell you a true story here really quickly. I had a realtor friend that told me her son was a longtime drug abuser, and so was his girlfriend. And when they would move to a new area to find out where to score drugs, he would send his girlfriend, all nice and cleaned up, to the police station of that particular city. And she would walk in just as nice and as convincing as can be and say, excuse me, we just moved to this area, and we wanna make sure that we're staying on the right side of the tracks and avoiding crime and stuff. Could you tell us where the bad areas are, or maybe where we should stay away from? And they would say, oh yeah, please don't go to ABC Street, because that's where all the the criminals and the drug deals, and oh my God, thank you. And guess what? They made a beeline for ABC Street, because that's exactly what they were after. So don't fall for it just because it's a female who comes to you. We have this problem with dog fighters and people seeking animals for dog bait as well. A lot of times it's a female. So please don't fall for that. Do your due diligence. Please tell someone, remind them. This wasn't honestly on the forefront of my mind until I saw that story. So thank God this came up on my timeline. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable to think that these people walk among us, but they do. So please. Also reminded me, in my book, What About the Dog, there's a section in here where you list 2 people that would get your dogs if something happened to you. One is your primary and the second one is your backup. I have to put a note in here now, under no circumstances, I'm going to write it in big friggin' bold marker. Do not give my dogs away free to good home. Do not give my dogs to someone you don't know personally, or it's got to be a real super strong recommendation, because you cannot take chances. These are your babies, okay? Bad stuff happens, clearly. Protect yourselves, protect your kids, protect your dogs, protect your kids, protect everybody. Use your head, trust your instincts. Please get a copy of whataboutthedogbook.com. At whataboutthedogbook.com. Get a copy of What About the Cat at whataboutthecatbook.com. Please share this message. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you later.